As I mentioned before, even suggesting that the old core belief may be invalid usually results in significant anxiety. One of my clients said, "But if I'm not bad and unlovable, then who am I?" And clients often see other disadvantages to changing their old core belief and adopting a new core belief. So it may be important to motivate clients before directly working on modifying beliefs. We'll cover two techniques: advantages versus disadvantages analysis and images of the future. Let's start with the advantages-disadvantages analysis. First, draw a horizontal line and a vertical line bisecting the paper, so you have 4 boxes. Or you can use a worksheet. Label each box with one of the options. Then you can ask clients to start filling in the boxes in any order. Alternatively, you can give them more guidance by asking the following questions in this order. What are the disadvantages of changing the core belief? What are the advantages of maintaining the core belief? What are the disadvantages of maintaining the core belief? What are the advantages of changing the core belief? Starting with the first 2 questions can help clients feel you are legitimizing and validating their concerns. If clients have difficulty with any of the boxes, you can start with an example or 2 from what you've already learned from the client. You might say something like this: would one advantage of changing your core belief be blank? For example, would one advantage of not seeing yourself as incapable be that you'd feel less anxious at meetings? There are 3 ways to identify additional benefits of changing the core belief. Ask clients to look at the items in the disadvantages of maintaining the core belief box. Let's say the client has identified a disadvantage. I'll have to rely on myself more. You can ask, would an advantage of changing your core belief be blank? For example, that you'd be more confident in making your own decisions? Here's a second way to identify advantages of changing the core belief. Help clients recall their core values. You can ask, what's really important to you in life? Then ask specifically how changing their core beliefs might affect their ability to live according to their values. For example, you can ask, how could changing your core belief positively affect your relationships with specific people, your ability to have new people in your life, your productivity at work, your productivity at home, your spiritual, creative, or intellectual life? You could also ask, if you change your core belief, what impact could it have on your mood, on your daily functioning? What might you be doing more of? What might you be doing less of? How might you spend your free time differently? How might your job be different? A third way to identify additional advantages of changing the core belief is to find out more specifically what the advantages of the advantages are. For example, if your client says, an advantage is that I could have a better relationship with my sister, you could ask, how would that be an advantage? The client might answer, I could be more open with her. I could ask her for help when I really need it. I could feel more comfortable at family gatherings. I could do some fun things with her. One way to identify additional disadvantages of changing the core belief is to ask clients what they see as the disadvantages of the disadvantages. For example, what are the disadvantages of feeling anxious around people you don't know? The client might say, I wouldn't talk very much. I wouldn't give them a chance to get to know me. I might lose out on a potential friend. To undermine the strength of the disadvantages of changing their core beliefs, ask clients leading questions. For example, if they say that changing their core beliefs will make them anxious, you can ask, do you think the anxiety will be time-limited just until the new belief becomes more familiar? And what could you do to cope with the anxiety? They can write the answers to these questions next to the disadvantage. They might say, changing my belief that I'm unlovable will make me anxious, but it will be time-limited, and I can use my emotional regulation techniques to reduce my anxiety. Next, help clients analyze the chart. You can ask, can you circle the items in each box that seem the most compelling? Which box seems the most important? Or, do the advantages of maintaining the core belief outweigh the disadvantages? Are they about equal? Or do the disadvantages outweigh the advantages? If so, by how much? 55-45, 60-40, 70-30? Also ask them the same kinds of questions about the advantages of changing the core belief versus the disadvantages of changing it. Next, ask clients to draw a conclusion. What do you make of this? An action plan assignment might be for them to read the benefits of changing their core belief daily. Okay, what did you learn about doing an advantages-disadvantages analysis that you didn't know before? And I'd like you to do a role play or write a script in which you elicit advantages and disadvantages of changing a core belief versus maintaining a core belief.